guys, welcome back to my channel, and if you're new, welcome. We are so happy you found us. I'm super excited you're here today. Today we are going to be talking about journal covers. All about journal covers. I've seen quite a few questions here lately in my group and other groups about journal covers. What do you use? How do you attach your signatures? And so forth. So I thought today I would address some of the main questions, like what materials do you use to create your journal covers? And how do you attach your signatures? What is the best way? Why can't I see the spine or the sewing sometimes? All of those questions answered and more. So let's just get into this. Alright guys, so journal covers are really fun because that's the first thing somebody sees when they look at your journal. Maybe you're selling your journals on Etsy, maybe you give them to family and friends, or maybe you just keep them to yourself, but maybe you take them to while you're waiting on soccer practice or ballet or whatever, and you're writing in your journal and someone sees it and asks about it, or a family member, or you give it as a gift. You want a positive reaction. You want somebody to be excited about that journal. And the thing that they see first is the journal cover. So it's very important that we create something that we love. Because if we love it, then everybody else is going to love it. I find that always true. What you use for a journal cover is important, but you have such a wide range of options that you never feel like you have to do the same one over and over. You don't get bored, you don't get stuck. And I'm just going to go through some of the top options, and then we'll discuss more in depth about each one. Okay, if you want to do a small journal, you always have the paper bag option, which is a wonderful option. For normal 9x12, for normal book size, the wide envelope is a great choice. Another great choice for a cover are file folders, either a whole file folder folded in half, or you could cut it apart and have two junk drawers, up to you. Really hardy, thick cardstock. This would make a beautiful summertime journal for gardeners. Some more great options are boxes that our food is in, like this cracker box, a coffee box. But my personal favorite is the rice box. It's the perfect size. It has a spine already. I love this to make journals out of. Then some other options are, of course, books. I just did a video on altering a book, which means you kept the pages in and decorated them already attached. But, excuse me, you could use just an empty book cover as well for your journal cover. Sometimes you can find notebooks that were cookbooks, health books, that kind of thing. You could always use these for journals, though these are kind of on the large side. So if you wanted one that was larger, these would make a great cover for one. And then you can always look to more specific things. Maybe if you want to make a journal about favorite movies or popcorn recipes, do something fun. This is a cardboard popcorn holder, and it would make a great journal cover. All you would have to do is kind of trim it up, and you would trim out this side, and it would open and close and trim off the bottom, and you would have a great cover. And it's very, I don't know, it's cute. Like, I wouldn't want to decorate this at all. Somebody else may. So look around for very specific things that could be journal covers as well. Now, let's go back and talk a little more in depth about the basic ones, which to me, the basic things that everybody uses for journal covers can be paper bags, big envelopes, file folders, hard or hefty, sturdy cardstock, or a cardboard box from your kitchen. Now, I'm going to start with the envelope because this is kind of my go-to. One, because I have a big box of envelopes. I found it in an estate sale. That cost me like $2. That's a bunch of journals in this box. Now, I just fold it in half and boom. Every page I fold fits right in here. I don't have to trim. I can make weird pages, you know, half pages, whatever. Everything fits. The thing with this though, because of the size of my signatures, I can only get one signature a journal. For me, that's kind of a drawback, and if I want to do a 2-signature journal or more, then I'm going to go to something else. But this is a good option, and if you can find a box of envelopes or even a package of envelopes at an estate sale, a garage sale, that stuff is normally really, really cheap. Grab them and you have endless journals. I also like that it's a blank canvas. I can totally decorate however I want because it is pliable, malleable. Attaching my signatures via the pamphlet stitch goes in great. I can work it through, no problems. So that's also a perk to the envelopes. This is an example of an envelope journal. I just covered it in craft paper. I sewed it because you can do that with the envelopes. I sewed all my paper on, and then I have one signature in here. I told you I make really big signatures, but that's okay. If you don't make big signatures, you could maybe get 2 in here. But it's a great cover. You wouldn't know this what started off life as this. And I have endless supply. Again, because I found them at an estate sale. So that's the envelope. That's why I like it. It's easy to attach signatures. It's a blank canvas. I can create whatever I want to from it. And they're very sturdy. They last a long time. The drawback for me personally is I can only get one signature in here versus 2 or 3 if I wanted to make a larger journal. File folders are great. Again, kind of the same for the envelopes as the file folders. You can fold them and they make great journals. You can actually fold in a spine. That way you will kind of have a designated area, because all you kind of do, because they are more structured than the white envelopes or brown envelopes. They don't have to be white, just what I found. You can kind of fold in, just kind of work it around and play with it, and you can kind of make like a spine, like a book spine on your envelope, and then you could attach your signatures more easily. It is a little stiffer, but still very easy to sew through to attach the signature straight to it. But because you can make a spine that will hold its shape, you could also use the invisible spine technique with the file folder. It's fun. They're easy to sew. You can coffee stain them if you wish. And again, they're blank, so pretty much you have whatever you can dream of. These make great covers as well. Paper bags are great, but you do have a size limitation with them. So I know some people like these for specialty things. I like these during the winter for hot chocolate recipes and gifts, because I can stick different kinds of hot chocolate in here. You can do different kinds of candy recipes, something that you need a lot of pockets for, and you maybe want one thing a page. The bags are good for. So I love these for that. Also, these wouldn't be bad for gardening if you were giving seeds as a gift and you just put very simple instructions. Anything in depth to me or with a lot to it, the paper bags aren't good for. But these are a great way to learn, and I strongly suggest if you're a beginner in journals that you do a paper bag journal, because they're super fun and they really do build confidence because they are easy to create. Now, the the scrapbook paper one is fun. You do have to trim it to whatever size. I think I always do 9x6. It's my standard size that I like. That's kind of what the envelope is folded. What I like to do is I'll take an envelope, kind of lay it across here, and trim this down to that size. And it works great. This is, again, beautiful. But it depends on what scrapbook paper you have. If it's very, like, specific, like this one, you know, it could be a cookbook, it could be a gardening, it could even be about canning, that kind of stuff. But you know, to do maybe a Christmas one, if it wasn't a gift for a canner or a gardener, you see, the subject kind of has to match the paper to me. Now to you it may not matter, so that's great too, but that's the kind of drawback with this one. Otherwise, I love it. I don't have to decorate the inside or the outside. It's already done for me, and that's amazing. So those were the main types. Now I'm going to show you some examples of, again, like I said about food boxes, they're great. If you get a food box like this rice, it comes with a spine. You just cut out the other side, the top and the bottom, and there you have your cover. Super simple. It's a good size already. This is like my go-to if I'm going to make one. Now, when you do a journal cover with a hard cardboard spine like this, a lot of times you might want to do the hidden spine versus trying to stitch through this, but I've done both, and a little more force needs to go into this, but you can definitely sew signatures right into this and just cover it with some pretty appliques, lace, paper, whatever, or let it show, have it hanging down. That's always a good look, with a tassel too. So don't let, because it's a harder spine, prevent you from trying a journal cover with a food box, because they're really great. They stand up to time. They're very sturdy. Okay, so I want to give you some visual examples. This one is cardboard. It's a cardboard box, a food box. It's been covered in paper. I did not do this. I received this in a trade. It's been covered in paper. You can see the spine is covered like that, and then they did decorative papers, and then inside there's pockets and everything. This is beautiful. It's very well done. It will stand up. The signature is not sewn in. These are a flow journal, but this size right here, it has 3 signatures in there. All I would have to do is attach them. Okay, so how would I attach them? I think what I would do is just put in a fake spine in the back, get some cardboard from another box, measure it to fit here, okay, and then attach my signatures to the strip of cardboard and then glue it in here. Then I would come back and probably put some more paper over the edges just so you couldn't see it. I would also consider just punching holes through this and through my signatures and doing the pamphlet stitch and sewing them right in. Like I said, don't be afraid. You can do it both ways. This is another example of a food cardboard box being turned into a beautiful journal cover. It does have the hidden spine in it. She actually sewed it to a piece of cardboard like I was talking about, and then she covered the inside, and you don't see the spine at all because she hid it, hence a hidden spine. But she decorated the outside lovely. And again, this was a food box, like a cracker box, a cereal box, oatmeal, whatever. And you wouldn't know it. Okay. Now these are 2 made from scrapbook paper as your cover. This is my fitness journal. Somebody else made it. I bought it. She coated it with a Mod Podge. She decoupaged some stuff on there, and she coated it with Mod Podge, so it's definitely hard, but it was just scrapbook paper. That's all it was, because I have the scrapbook paper, actually. And she just added some stitching. It's perfect. So scrapbook paper makes a good one. This is one I did. I did the pamphlet stitch and just sewed my little signature in there. This is a smaller one, but this is, again, just a hardy, sturdy scrapbook paper. On the inside, I just left it, and it's beautiful. I left it. I added some stuff, but that is just scrapbook paper, and it made a super cute little journal. And I made this size because I was thinking this could be on families' plates at Thanksgiving as a gift. Thank you for coming to Thanksgiving. Okay, now I talked about also using different items like the popcorn cardboard holder a minute ago. If you have means of attaching your pages besides doing the pamphlet stitch or other stitching methods, if you have like a ring binder system at your disposal or something like this, then of course you can use whatever you have for journal covers. This is just pieces of paper here that someone used, and this is actually bingo card on the front for the cover and just a piece of plain cardboard on the back. Just shows you if you have other means for binding, you have more options. My favorite way though will be the food boxes, the rice box in particular. I've just found great size and sturdy. Also the envelopes. I love the envelopes. I have tons. You've seen me make tons of journals from those. Another option besides doing the altered book, you can also do a composition notebook into a journal, which we'll have a video on that coming up in the future. After you figure out your journal cover, now you're going to think about how many signatures you want and how you're going to attach them. Mainly, are you going to sew them directly into the spine, or are you going to do a hidden spine? Whichever way is up to you. I always do the pamphlet stitch. That just works best. That's the 3 holes. You go down the middle, up the top, down the middle, up the bottom, and then you tie in the center on the inside, because I like to have a couple of strings hanging down to put charms on. You can also do it opposite and have the strings on the outside with the charms. That's up to you. What I like to use to secure my signatures is wax thread, because it doesn't break, it holds tight. You can get stuff like this off of eBay, and many Etsy shops have it. So wax thread's the best. If you don't have wax thread, you don't want to spend the money. Your simple embroidery thread that you can get anywhere is great too. Just use several strands. The thinner it is, the more chance you have of it breaking. Remember, people are flipping through. Maybe they're writing. Maybe they're, opening it flat, whatever. Remember, if a journal's really used, it's going to be used tough. So you want sturdy. That's why you want to think about your cover being not only beautiful or fun or whatever, but sturdy. You also want what you attach your signatures with. And this is a good thread. I would not use regular thread. It's way too thin and too breakable. But embroidery thread works great as well. And then you get another element because you get a pop of color with it. This is kind of important. And lastly, how do you decide how you want to decorate your cover? I have some couple of new unique ideas. I haven't seen them anywhere before. I'm filming a video on that. That will be out next week about some different ways, unusual ways to decorate your journal cover. So stay tuned for that. But also, you're your inspiration, or why you're making it, or who you're making it for. This one, the inspiration was fall. This one, the inspiration was gardening, food. So the inspiration is going to dictate what your cover looks like. This one's very fall, a lot of colors. I put scrapbook paper with a lot of movement. It has my colors that I wanted to carry all the way through. And it just speaks to my theme. Then the little picture on the front and the words on the back with some ribbon. This cover, again, is very simple. I use the craft paper because it's gardening. You're going to get it dirty. I wanted something sturdy. So that was my thinking for this. So guys, just remember, a journal cover can be basically anything you dream of. But the go-to ones are normally large envelopes, file folders, food boxes like cereal boxes, rice boxes, cracker boxes, those kind of things. And always paper bags. I recommend everybody, especially if you're just starting out, make a paper bag journal. It's fun and you'll really enjoy it. Okay, those are your go-to. And then you have your specialty ones, or if you have access to specialty binding, that kind of opens up your choices as well. So guys, I hope you enjoyed this video about the different types of materials you could use for journal covers, also talking a bit on attaching your signatures as well as decorating. If you did like this video, please be sure and give it a thumbs up. Also, be sure and leave me a comment down below with the word pumpkins and what kind of material is your go-to journal cover. Again, leave me the comment down below with pumpkins. Thanks for being here today, guys. I will see you next time.